Hey, this is Anne from Grow, and I am going to teach you how to plan the perfect weekend for you and your young kids. Basically, I'm going to teach you how to win at weekends. In this series, we are going to teach you about something called fieldwork, and this is a big part of what we believe in at Grow. We're going to teach you what it is, how to plan it, and how to make the most of your time together with your kiddos. So let's start from the beginning. What is fieldwork? Well, I want you to think of like the coolest scientists and explorers, maybe an archaeologist. Fieldwork is when you go out into the field to explore real life. So it is hands-on, and above all, it's fun. You're really getting the chance to explore your world. So how is this different from maybe what you're already doing? Like on Friday, you kind of look up what's going on this weekend in your city and you find something and you go, you spend a couple hours there walking around. You're already doing this. Not quite. And let me tell you why. Field studies are different from day trips. So a field study to the Natural History Museum, for example, means that you are going in order to answer a specific question or explore a specific idea. So, for example, you might be exploring butterflies with your kiddo. So you go to the Natural History Museum, you beeline for the insect room, and you get a ticket to go in the butterfly display. The butterfly house? Once you're in there, you're exploring the colors of the butterflies, observing what they're doing, their body parts, you're watching them, you're asking the expert butterfly masters in that room questions, and you're really modeling that curiosity for your kids and with your kids about just butterflies. When you finish, you might go into the insect room, find some more caterpillars. Then you might find some crickets or another insect and observe how they're different from what you saw in the butterfly house. Once you're finished with your exploration of butterflies, which might be, depending on the age of your kids, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour later, and you still have time before nap, explore the rest of the museum. Check out the mummies or go run outside on the mall. But this is in juxtaposed to a day trip. A day trip to the Natural History Museum, you might go and then you take a look at the giant whale and the giant squid, and you look at the different animals, you check out the mummy room, you go to the geodes, you might stop at the insect room, and you're kind of just, being an observer at the museum, walking around and kind of killing time until nap time, right? Which, let me tell you, has its place and time. I don't want to discount a good day trip. They're fun, it's exposure to new ideas, and you might find something that your kids are really interested in. But what I do want to emphasize is how amazing that first option is, that butterfly option, that super hyper focused fieldwork option. And it's important for a couple of reasons. So as a teacher, I would see kids who would come into my classroom with this depth of experience and knowledge. They would be able to bring out these facts and these anecdotes about their lives and experiences that made their understanding of every book, of every story, of the stories they wrote, so much more rich. And that's what we want to give to our kids. Because when we are doing those deep dives into a specific thing, we are helping them develop what's called schema, which is basically a really developed and luxurious understanding of the world. And every experience that kids have on a certain topic builds their schema about that topic and helps them then apply that knowledge to other situations that they come across. This helps them in problem solving. This helps them in making connections. This helps them in teaching and using language with other kids and other adults. On that note, it helps build kids' vocabulary. When children are exposed to a content in person and a new word at the same time, that content, that real life experience, kind of sucks in that word into their brain and makes it more likely that they'll be able to use it, remember it, and apply it later. Huge. So we have schema, vocabulary, language. When kids are able to engage in their curiosity, to dive deep into a single topic, they get super into it and then want to ask questions. And it's that asking and answering questions that prepares kids to, number one, be awesome with school. But number two, be a researcher, be a scientist. Come up with those ideas that help them explore the world. So it also helps them create memories. Now, these memories will help them, like I said, with their schema and as they're making connections, and it helps them prepare for school, but it also helps them make memories with you. And that is awesome because that time with your kids, it builds a really strong bond. You'll get the memories, they'll get the memories, and as a parent, we all just want that bond, and we want it to be really rich and strong. And this is a great way to do it. Now, I also want to do a little plug of doing these field studies and this field work with your kiddos. It also helps you as a parent kind of know what to talk about, know where you're going, know what you're doing. It almost acts as a filter when you're approaching a Smithsonian or a museum or even out on the sidewalk. Your walk to the bus or your walk to the metro or your walk to the car or your walk kind of wherever then can get a focus because you can make these connections to the butterflies. You might see a butterfly. You might see a flower that's colorful. And it can help us bring a lens to our own actions and words that helps create a richer experience for our kids. Okay, so hopefully you're bought in to why Fieldwork is really awesome. And again, not to discount the day trip, but I want everybody to get on this Fieldwork bus with me. So you might be saying, well, Anne, that all sounds really great, but it also sounds kind of complicated. Okay, I'll give it to you that it does take a little extra thought beyond what is there available in my area to go and explore. But in some ways, I actually think it's easier to plan your weekends when you have this really hyper narrow focus. Let me explain. There are 4 easy steps that you can follow to help you plan your perfect fieldwork adventure on the weekend. So I'm going to walk you through them right now, and you'll see that just having this lens can help you narrow down what you're doing, limit your searching, and kind of help you decide where you're going to spend time in that space. So step 1 is just to identify an interest. This could be your interest, your kid's interest, a seasonal interest. Is it snowing outside? Is it going to be fall? Those kinds of just topics. It helps you identify a singular topic. Step 2, search for places or just, this could be the internet, but it could also be your brain or your friends, of places you can go to explore. And I just want to make a note here that this does not have to be super epic, right? Like if your kid is into trains, yes, there's so many awesome places in the city to go, but you can also just go and ride the metro and explore the maps and observe the tracks And that is as rich as going to the Trolley Museum. So, not to discount the Trolley Museum, very awesome place to go. Anyway, number 3, start with a question, okay? So the question helps you decide what aspect of that interest you're going to explore. And what I want to say here is start super simple. Even if your kiddo is a preschooler, right? Like, we start with super simple questions. And don't move on to more complex questions unless you know your kiddo has got it. But some simple questions start out with defining, right? So if you're studying butterflies, well, what is a butterfly? If you're studying trains, what is a train? And then they move to more complex that have to do with, well, what is the purpose of a butterfly, right? Like, what is its job? What are the jobs of all of its different body parts? What's the job of a butterfly? Like, to pollinate, etc. So there are a series of different kind of levels of questions going from easy to hard. And I just want to really emphasize that you could spend a whole month exploring the same topic, exploring the same question with your kiddos, and it is going to be so rich because step 4 is repeat, 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 repeat. Go back to the same place, go back to the same exhibit. Stay on the same topic, talk about the same question for as long as you want or need. You might get bored, but they're not going to get bored. It is so beneficial for their brains, and so let it be beneficial for yours by just relaxing a little bit and not thinking about it as much. So, if you want to find out about those questions, more about how to plan your field work, more about the benefits of your field work, I want you to do a couple of things. First, let me know that you like this video by pressing like so that we know that we should make more about topics like this. You can also subscribe to our brand new channel so that you can know when we come out with a new video, which will be every week. Check out our website at wegrow.com, and there you'll find a whole bunch of ideas about great places to go for field work and why to do it. Also, our next YouTube video is also going to be about field work. And when we do that one, you're going to find out how to make the most of your field work. You're going to find out what you're going to need to bring, why you're going to need to bring it, and then how to make the experience extend past the weekend. Also, we plan to put a really awesome freebie in that video. So you should really check it out because it's going to help you plan your weekends like a boss. So, plan your weekends. Think about your field trip or your field work. Think about your field work and enjoy those parenting wins.